Welcome to Super Flixx, the podcast covering superhero, sci-fi, and fantasy movies. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partner, Joe Hartley. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Oh, okay, nothing much. I had saw my internet, my Wi-Fi signal, and you were just kind of sitting there. I was just making sure that you weren't frozen. All
Oh,
right,
I
cool.
said what's going on. You didn't hear me?
Yeah, I did, but when I looked up at the screen, I wasn't looking
Oh,
at.
okay, good.
All right, all right. Let's get back to it. We are members of the Martial Arts in the Network, and you can check out our other show, Fist, Kicks, and Flicks, every Thursday on the Martial Arts in the Network. Just look for the Martial Arts in the Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Joe, it's showtime. What is going on, man?
A whole heck of a lot. Just staying clear of this crazy weather we have going on. A couple of storms, a
Yeah,
couple of heat waves. No, but we made it through. Everything stayed on, so no big trees or nothing. So we're good.
I had to cancel class
Um,
yesterday.
oh yeah.
Yep. Grand River was flooded.
Oh
So yeah, different areas of it. So just wasn't it wasn't the whole street. It was different areas of Grand River as you went down Grand River, like sitting puddles, and they were. I mean, these puddles are huge, and just so happened I had one right in front of the school. As I pulled up, I saw it, and one of my parents had called me at the exact same time as I was pulling up, and she asked me was I still going to teach have karate, and I said no, we're just going to cancel it because if people parked all the way down here, you still got to walk all the way down, and still, I mean, the water came up to the school. So if a car passed and splashed, that water just came toward the building and came up toward the door.
yeah, that's a
So I just
mess.
went ahead and canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, my son did his first basketball class the other day. No air in that gym.
Oh man.
Yeah,
It had to have been hot,
just
hot.
yeah, it was the hottest day too because that was it was on Monday, and but I mean it was an hour long class. They had windows open and doors, and they had ceiling fans and a couple of regular fans, but it was hot. And at the end
Hmm.
of it, like he was like, "Okay, Dad," like that was a fun one. But I like the coaches. They were really good. They really about teamwork,
Hmm.
about encouraging each other, and stuff like that. So, and they're starting with the basics because it's the basic class, and then if he likes that one, then he can move up to like the second level. So I talked to both coaches at the end, and I told them like he's looking to make the basketball team for his school. So to go ahead and keep that in mind when they're trying to help him out and help him do some things that I just don't know enough to teach him right now. But watching them, like I'm like, okay, I can run that drill and I can run that drill. So
It
we'll
shouldn't be
see how
hard
it
for you to
goes.
pick up on stuff, right? Even though you never, I mean, you never played organized basketball before, right?
I know the rules, and I don't know like I know how to set up like a pick and roll and stuff like that, but I don't know if they do that in junior high. I mean, I gotta
Hmm.
think they run something. So we'll see how it goes. He did pretty good. He picked up all they did yesterday. They worked on some rebounding and just a basic layup. So
Okay.
like 1, 2, 3 step stop layup or 1, 2, 3 stop jumper and off the backboard. So it was pretty good, and he picked it up really quick. And it was all kids his own age, so he made some friends, and yeah, I thought it was nice.
Okay.
Um, Other than that, I've been talking a little bit about, we moved my aunt out of her place in Royal Oak, and because she needed some extra help, uh, some reminders and everything. So we got her in a nice little facility. She's got her own apartment. There's people that come and make sure she gets cleaned up and gets dressed every morning. They come and get her for all three of her meals, and then we go and visit her pretty much at least once a week, if not every other day. And if they call and they need something, I'm 15 minutes away. But we're trying to sell her place. She has a 1 bedroom condo, and there were a few things that need to be fixed up. So we all went there today. My mom, my aunt, my uncle. and a couple of my kids. We went there to clean it out. We had to tear up some carpet because there was a big stain in the middle, so we got put in some new carpet. She she had nothing caulked. She had used duct tape, white duct tape
What do you mean
to
for the carpet?
no, to seal, like instead of caulk.
Oh, oh wow, okay.
So yeah, so my uncle came through and he like you had to peel off all this duct tape
Are you mean like
and
around the
then
sink and the tub and all of
the
that?
window sills, the everything, everything.
Okay, all right.
Like she's like, I don't need nothing. I just the white duct tape.
Wow, okay, all right.
So yeah, so we got a realtor and she told us what to take care of before she'll list it, and then she'll list it, and then we'll just hopefully we can that'll go quick in that area, and then we'll just put it in because this place that we got her at isn't super expensive, but it's not nothing like that is overly cheap. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and Medicaid, you gotta pay for it yourself until uh pretty much everything's gone, and then Medicaid will take over.
That's so stupid.
I know, I agree.
That's so stupid.
Even her 401k, so you have to they go through all of it
So they make
before they'll
sure that
take over.
you're dirt poor before they help.
I guess. I
Yeah.
guess, man, like it's terrible. But I mean, that's how it's got to go right now. And my mom and like, she went back and forth about it for a while. But I visited her just the other day, and she's really doing well there. I just got they got an app that'll send me all the activities,
Mm-hmm.
so it'll give me reminders of what they're doing. Because I'm like, that's the other thing. I'm trying to get her to be a little more social, a little more active, because that
Mm-hmm.
helps
Mm-hmm.
with Alzheimer's and dementia. So this place has things going on every day. She had a church member come and visit her and took her to someone had brought in like some tropical birds, and they got some really nice pictures of her with these birds, and they were singing together and all that stuff. So she doesn't remember it when
Mm-hmm.
I talk about it until I show her the pictures. But it's something that she did. She had fun with it, and we got some good pictures out of it and some good videos. So I got it's a calendar and it says what they can do. So like they'll have family nights once a month. So I'll go to that, or like bingo. I said, "Oh, Aunt Julie, you want to play some bingo?" So I said, "Oh, I'll just run up there. It's 15 minutes from my house. Take her to bingo for an hour. She'll enjoy it, make a good memory, get a prize, and then go back to her room and be good for the night." So
Right.
I'm happy about that, and it takes a little stress off my mom, if we can sell that place and everybody's getting involved, so it helps.
Okay. All right. Well, cool, man. You enjoy? Did you
That's about
get a
it.
chance? Did you get a chance to enjoy your day off?
Yeah, I mean, I hung out with the kids and we did our own thing, but our days off, I try to get the lawn done. Which like the weather helped me. I had to get that. I got the lawn done on Tuesday, right before that storm came rolling through.
Okay.
Because I was like,
Just in
okay,
time.
I don't want it to be too hot,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to get hit by the storm. So I
Yeah.
kept checking the weather, and I'm like, okay, I got up, got everyone breakfast, got myself some stuff, this and that. No, okay, I heard that, whatever
There
that
you
was.
go. Okay. Yeah. Somebody rode one of them little mopeds down the street.
But so yeah, I beat the weather with that, got everything done, and then it literally rolled through in like 10, 15 minutes, and then it was over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was so much. Man, it was a lot of rain though. It was so much
Yeah,
rain.
just like torrential downpour of rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but that's about it, man. Back to work tomorrow. I put in some bids at work, so tomorrow they're supposed to go up. See if I get some a new area to work at, or some new days off. I'm
Okay.
hoping a bunch of them were Saturday, Sunday, so I could have the weekends off, or a
Mm-hmm.
few of them were like Saturday or Sunday, Monday bids. with football coming up like Sunday, Monday, I'll take that.
Okay. All right.
So we'll see if I got any of those. I put in for
Okay.
9 of them,
Oh
and then
wow.
yeah, you put in for all these bids, and then based on seniority, so you got to say, I want this one first, second, third, and all the way, and then based on your seniority, as long as no one above me wants it, I'll get it. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, cool, man. Cool.
Yeah,
Well, I have really nothing to report, man. Everything has been slow motion over here, man. I do have to when you're talking about your son in basketball, my son is doing golf this summer, so I know I got to get back. I got to get reach out to his golf instructor and get him back out there doing that. And then I got a couple other little camps that he's going to go to later on this summer. Of course, he doesn't want to do it. He want to stay home and do nothing but go over to his grandmother's house and jump in the pool. But I was like, no, man, you gotta do something this summer, man. You just can't
yeah, it's better
stay
that way.
home. Yeah,
No, man, it's
yeah.
better that way.
He'll
It's fun
appreciate it when he gets older.
for sure.
You know what my summer camps used to be?
What,
Karate,
karate camp?
karate. My uncle would pick us up at 10 o'clock in the morning. We'd be with him all day, and we would have to. Me and Trav. Sometimes Ski would go also. We would go over to Operation Get Down at Kibalon, the Kibalon Village, and they used to
Yeah.
have camps and stuff going on over there. So we used to go over there to help out and participate and stuff like that. So we spent I don't know 2 or 3 summers doing that.
When's
Yeah,
the first year your uncle started the actual camp that everyone could come to?
yeah.
Do you know?
I don't know, man. If I had to guess, I would have to. I would think it had to been like 92 or 93. I think 92, 93, or
Okay.
94 around there. Now this is a funny thing. I've never gone to the camp. Now,
Oh,
not
for
one
real?
time have I gone and participated with that weekend. I've never done it at
Uh,
all. Yeah, never,
that
never did.
that was when I fell in love with the Plowden system, and when we started joining you all on Fridays and getting beat up.
Hmm. So you said that you started coming around like 95, right?
Yeah, because I was around. It was right when I got my junior black belt, so I was 14 or 15. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, so it had to have been like around that time, 92, 93, around that
yeah.
time. But I remember we used to
And
go do demonstrations at camps. We used to go do a demonstration
okay,
at a camp, and I think that's where he got the idea from for it because we used to go do a standard normal karate demonstration. We 15, 20
see,
minutes.
we did demonstrations at the state fairs.
Oh, an
So
eight
we had
mile
the no, we
state
had
fair.
St. Mary's State Fair.
Okay,
No, we never did that one. We
hmm,
did St. Mary's and St. Patrick's.
okay,
The two churches always had. I think one was Memorial Day and one was Labor Day,
okay.
and so we do like 2 days out of the 3 days,
Hmm.
like that Saturday, Sunday, and then we get to enjoy the fair.
See, yeah, we never really hung around and did too much anything after we did demonstrations. But I tell you, man, I know I told the story on Fist Kicks and Flicks, but I'm gonna tell it on Super Flicks. Man, I swear, my uncle's favorite demonstration we ever did. He calls it the hot foot demo, and we did it. It was at a picnic, but what they wanted us to do the actual karate demonstration part of it, it was on pavement, and
Oh,
it was like in the middle of July or August, so it is hot, and we don't realize this because we have our shoes on the whole time up until it's time for us to go out and perform. And the way we used to do our demonstrations was he would call us out, and we would one at a time. Everyone would run out and do some jump kicks, so flying side kick, jump spinning hook kick, tornado kicks, and then you would land in your spot in line. But man, so I think I might have been first to go out there because I was always I think I must have been out there first, man. And next thing you know, I'm flying out there doing the kicks, and as soon as I touch the ground, I want to get back up in the air because that that damn pavement was so hot. So
I
we're
bet.
doing. So we do all the basic stuff, the horseback riding stand. So we're punching and we're leaning from one side. He doesn't understand what's going on. He's just looking at us and he's on the microphone. he's looking at us, he's calling out these commands. I know he had to be thinking like, what is wrong with these boys? Why are they doing this? We doing we doing one step. Like we did all of the kicks, all the horseback riding stand stuff, the kicks, and we're doing one steps. And then we start. He noticed it when he started seeing us do one steps, and our feet are up in the air. We don't want our feet to be on the ground, and people are taking their time to get back up to do the one step or whatever. And then he eventually he's laughing on the mic, and he stops it and tells us it's okay. All right, you know, this pavement is too hot for the boys, so you know they're gonna have to stop. So we didn't get a chance to break or anything. And the first thing we all said when we got done was like, "Don't tell Ski, don't," because he wasn't with us this day. We're like,
Oh, okay.
he's gonna laugh at us forever and hold us over our heads. So we cannot tell Ski that this just happened. So, but eventually he found out and did have a good laugh. So,
I bet.
all right, man, let's get into the movie, man. RoboCop 3. Man, I don't understand how RoboCop. After watching these three movies, I don't understand why it was so popular in the late '80s or early '90s. I don't get it.
It was this one was interesting compared to the other two though. They changed no more Peter Keller.
Right.
So they changed to Robert John Burke.
Yeah. I was like, I was watching. I was like, why does he sound different? And then
Well,
I
that's the thing.
instantly
So
went to Wikipedia.
but they made him look the same when he had his helmet off, but he
Well,
sounded different. It was crazy.
he still looked different to me. I still saw a difference when he took his helmet off. Also, that's when I really went and looked. I was like, something's up with this dude's face. Did he have plastic surgery or something? Yeah, he looked similar, but I could tell like something was off with him. And I was wondering like why, like dude, like you don't. There is not much acting that needs to be done to be RoboCop. I wonder why he did not
No,
come back for the third movie.
I was curious about the same thing. You could probably look it up. There's probably a reason, or maybe there was a money issue. Who knows? But out of the three, I think this one ended up being the better of the three,
I don't know, man. I know.
which was
I
shocking because that never happens.
if I don't know, man. I don't know what to say because I wasn't impressed with this movie, but at the same time, I
No, I
wasn't
wasn't
impressed with
impressed with it, but I'm saying in comparison to the other two,
it's
like
so hard.
this one didn't have an annoying kid cussing and swearing and then dying. It did
No, it
have.
was
I
just
mean, that little girl wasn't bad.
it, it's so many. Oh man, I don't even know what to say about this. The
Okay, so
first
the premise of this. Go ahead.
the first thing I want to know is how come OCP was not shut down. Like they shouldn't even made it to a third movie. Like this business is
I
so
agree.
corrupt. It's been corrupt since the first movie. Why and
Yeah,
how are they still in charge and doing
but not
things?
only that, they still don't shut them down at the end of this, really.
No.
And it was this. It was OCP was taken over by the Chinese.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't
now
get it.
they have another CEO. What happened to the other? What happened to the original? At the end of two, it looked like the plan was going to be for Ann and RoboCop or Murphy to take out OCP.
Hmm.
But we didn't even. They just had a whole new OCP. I mean, they still had the one guy who, by the way, if the old man wasn't there, how come they brought a new CEO in and the other guy still had to be vice president?
I don't
He
know.
should have been the one in charge.
What
I can
happened
never.
to the guy in the first one? The one
That's what
that
I'm saying.
the old man that fired the other guy that allowed
Yeah,
RoboCop yeah, what happened to him?
they didn't say nothing. He was just gone.
No. Yeah, he was just going. He wasn't in the second movie, was he? No.
I thought he was.
I don't know. I didn't think that was
Mm.
him, but I don't know. I gotta look it up. I don't know.
And then the funny thing is, so Rip Torn
Hmm.
takes over as CEO. They
Yeah.
don't even give him a name in the movie. I'm
Nope.
looking at it right now. It literally just says the CEO. That's how unimportant
Wow.
you are in this movie. The CEO. The scientist, the brand new scientist they bring in, okay, played by Jill Hennessy, Dr. Marie Lazarus, gets a name. But OCP, the big bad guy, OCP, the CEO is just called the CEO. What the
Right.
hell?
Right.
So the idea of this one is it starts off just like the rest of them, some stupid commercial, and it's Delta City. So just like always, OCP wants to take over Detroit and make a bunch of money off of the back of all these poor people. They've been trying to do this the whole thing, and now they want to do this through China.
Yeah.
So they're talking about the Ketsumitsu Corporation taking over of OCP, who's still in charge of the police, and
Why?
now
Why? Since when? Since when is a business in control of the police department?
I don't know, but for whatever reason, they got this. What is this guy's? I keep forgetting this guy's name. That took over. He had his own police force. He had his own task force on the with the police. That was
Uh,
basically
that
they
that was OCP. That was part of OCP.
yeah, but they
Yeah.
what did they call that task force that they had?
I
They
don't know.
called it something. I know it's so stupid, but either way, this guy was in charge of it.
The
Paul
whole thing.
McCrane or
The whole thing at the beginning of this was dumb. Like they're clearing out a section of Detroit. They're it kind of reminded me of what's going on now. Once again, they're just rounding people up and putting them in a vehicle and then shipping
I
them
know
off.
I said this. I said the same thing. I was like, they call them rehabilitation centers,
Yes, yes.
but there's no way it can be that anything like this could be legal. You can't just buy up a whole city and kick people out of their homes.
Well, there have been things like that that have happened in
Well,
throughout history.
not within good reason though. I'm saying like, but but that's what they're
They wait,
doing.
wait,
And
hold on. You do know it did happen similar to that in Detroit. That's where they ended up putting. I think 75 ran right through a neighborhood. That's where they put 75 in Detroit. There used to be a neighborhood of people, and they got those people up out of there to put the freeway 75.
oh well,
The neighborhood was called I believe it's Black Bottom. I think that's where my grandfather grew up in. But yeah,
that's crazy. Oh, so
yeah.
the guy's Paul McDaggart. He runs this task force of people that are forcing people out of their homes, putting them on a bus, and shipping them out to rehabilitation. So the movie starts with him, and like when I say forcing, he shows up with guns
Mm-hmm.
to evict people and get them out. And so we see this family that starts off, and the only one in the family who they really tell us is Nico. Nico's
Yeah.
obsessed with all the OCP robots. She's got Robocop doll. She's even got a figure she's making of that T9000 or whatever she called it.
Mm-hmm.
So and then she has this. Like I said, they kept making this movie like it was the future because they had this computer that like folded up, and
But guess
that
what,
was like
Joe?
her favorite thing. Huh.
This is what I did. So as I'm watching the movie, I said, you know what? Me and Joe talked about this. What year is this supposed to be in? Right. So I looked it up, and you would have thought that they were trying to make this, in 2040 or something 50.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
what's it
No,
supposed to be?
it's supposed to be in the early 90s, anywhere from early 90s to early 2000s. That's what this time is supposed to be.
Wow.
And they made this movie in 93. And I'm like, you should clearly see that this is not about to happen in the future.
No, not even close. Um, this little girl's worried about what because she's watching the TV and she's seeing all this happening, and the dad tells her, "Don't worry, nobody's coming to kick us out of our house." Meanwhile, they show a wrecking ball come through the house, and then they show an eviction notice
Yeah.
on the table.
Yeah. Now,
You cannot. I don't care if
no.
you have to get people out of that building. You can't just start demolishing a building with people in it. You can't
Right.
do that.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right. And that type of stuff right there is so fake that draws me out of a movie when I see stuff like that because I'm instantly thinking, like you just said,
Yeah.
I was like, you can't do that in real life. Like that's like this is stupid.
So Nico gets pulled away from her family during this chaos because there is a resistance group that we start to see unfold, uh, trying to fight back against I forget the group is called something, and it's driving me nuts. But basically, they're a rebellion. You know, did you ever see the Hunger Games?
Uh, I saw the first one way back in the day. That's over 10 years
This
ago.
group of guys that are doing all this, they remind me of the peacemakers. The peacemakers were the enforcers. That's what this is. This is a group of enforcers. They show up. If you don't listen, we're gonna hit you with a gun. We'll shoot you if we have to. Whatever. Da da da. They act like they're above the police, which makes no sense to me.
It might as well be called ICE.
Right? Right? Dude, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, where's the orange man? So they're looking to steal weapons. This group of rebels are looking
Hmm.
to steal weapons from like a police depot, and they have a card, a police officer's former card, and of course there's a T9000 waiting there. So the little girl runs up to it, under it with her computer, and makes him as loyal as a puppy.
Right. Now, hold on. Before you go, so we spoke about this little girl. What you didn't mention is that she got separated from her parents.
No, I
Uh,
said
th-
it.
oh, you did. I missed it. So,
Yeah, she got separated, and then the rebel group picked her up.
yeah, yeah. Now, they never mention what happened to the parents ever again.
Never again.
We don't know if they're alive. We don't know if they got moved away. Nothing.
I thought there was a part where RoboCop was trying to scan to see if he could find them,
He did,
but
but
I
they
don't
never
think he
went
got
nowhere
it.
with it.
Yeah, I didn't think they went anywhere
Yeah,
with it.
yeah, he was looking for her parents, but they never said they should at least said if they were deceased, if they had gotten moved to Afghanistan, something. They should have said something, and they didn't.
So this movie actually had a lot of people that have been in a lot of stuff
Yeah,
since this movie.
yeah.
Because I started noticing a lot. Like the main rebel is Bertha, and I've never seen this girl's name. I've seen her in so many things.
Yep.
CCH Prounder.
Hmm. Yeah, I've seen her in a lot of stuff
It's got to
also.
be a stage name, right? Like, what
I
does that
don't.
even CCH? What does that even stand for?
I have no
It's
idea.
all capital. Yeah, that has to be a. I'm interested in that now. But yeah, she's been in a bunch. She's a great actress actually,
Hmm.
and I've seen her this young because like I mean, right now she's probably in her 50s or 60s.
Yeah, she got to be 60s or maybe even
72.
70s. Yeah, she's got. I'm
72.
about to
Yeah.
say. I'm about to say, man. I know she's not my age, and I'm getting close to 50. So.
But the funny thing is, it's funny to see her this young because like everything she plays now, she's usually a judge or something, and
Mm,
she's like that snappy,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Judge Judy kind of
Hmm.
don't do that in my court, or she's
Hmm.
real. So and she's kind of that in this, but she's a little more like badass in this. So I thought that was kind of fun.
Hmm.
Um,
You saw George's
so
boss from
yep,
Seinfeld. He was in this. There's another guy who ends up killing himself, ends up shooting himself. He plays the same character in everything he's in. He's like a,
every single
you
time.
know who I'm talking about, don't you? He's like a sneaky Weasley
Yep,
type of guy, and he's playing that role in this also. And I would have thought they would have gave him. They were. It seemed like they were setting him up to be the main villain of the movie, but
yeah,
he ends up killing himself. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't even understand why anybody was killing himself anyway. Because you saw the other guy jump out of a window, or I was like, why?
Just dramatic effect because the company was going under,
Yeah, you get another job. You don't. You don't have
right?
to die.
I mean, the one guy was talking to his wife at the time he jumped out the window.
Yeah.
Um, so them stealing all these weapons triggers the police alarm, and we pan over to like a donut coffee shop, and this guy comes in there tries to rob it. Now, obviously, this dude didn't pay attention to where he was because
Obviously.
the entire police force was there.
Yeah.
So he does the reach for the sky move, and he's got 25 guns on his head.
Yeah. He's also from Seinfeld also. That guy.
Yeah, that
Now,
crazy
this is
dude.
this is my thing. When he walked, he didn't pay attention to the parking lot. He didn't pay attention to any police cars in the parking lot because all these officers were, some of them were in uniform.
Yeah.
So they had their vehicles there. They had to have had their vehicles there.
The funny thing is, so when the call comes through, they're all like, I got the last one. It's your turn. I got the last. Da, da, da.
Hmm.
And of course, we know where this is going because then they pan over to Anne, our favorite little feisty little blonde cop, but no RoboCop. And they ask her, "Where's Murphy?"
Hmm.
And he's like, he's not big on donuts and coffee." Of
Yeah, of
course he's
course.
not. He's a robot.
Right.
They showed you in the first one. He just gets some weird slop. That's what
Yeah,
he lives off of.
they didn't do her character any justice in any of these movies, man. They don't give her a backstory. We don't know anything about her family. We don't know anything really about her. She's just always there, just looking and
Yes.
and trying to help, RoboCop or Murphy. That's it. Like, her character doesn't have any type of depth to her.
So she's in pursuit of these guys, and this rebel group, they got a lot of, they got plans, and they know how to evade the cops. They know how to evade robots. Like, I mean, this guy's, he's got a switch to switch all the lights when he's running from the cops. So he evades the cops for the most part until now all of a sudden we get RoboCop because RoboCop ends
Hmm.
up on their tail. And the only
I,
problem is
Go ahead,
that
man.
gets well, the problem is the guys that just, that they just left in their dust, they have three police officers, including Ann, end up in some
An
kind of
accident.
gang territory.
Yes, and
Yeah, in gang,
this
weird gang territory.
yeah. The and a car accident happened, like you said, that he switched the traffic light, and an accident happened. Anne should have been dead right then. Her car
Yes.
flips over and lands on top, and
She didn't even have a scratch.
yes, she did. She didn't have anything wrong with her.
I'm sorry,
No
that
headache,
helmet ain't gonna,
anything.
you would have had some scratches, some bumps and some bruises.
A headache, something, because
Yeah.
her car flipped on top, and she's riding along on the ground. Like, her neck should have been messed up at least.
They hit a sports car, and the guy in the sports car got out and was bitching and moaning and complaining. And Anne looks over and sees a gang symbol and realizes, like, oh, we're in trouble. Like, so she calls it in really quick. And like I said, RoboCop was pursuing the yellow van with the rebels and the little girl. By the way, the little girl, I don't know that she knows, like, if she's all excited to see RoboCop, but
Hmm.
if they pull that van over and they find out that she was involved in helping with those guns stealing, she's in just as much trouble as everybody else.
Hmm. Hmm.
But like I said, they get lucky because when Anne makes the call, RoboCop disobeys his commanding officer and turns around to go help Anne.
Hmm.
So, which when they get him back, they say he shouldn't be able to do that. He's supposed to stay on task. So they're kind of mad that he has the ability to think for himself, which they've always kind of been that way because, but he's been
Hmm.
fighting his programming for the longest. I mean, he literally electrocuted himself in the last movie
Yeah, that's right.
to to override, and then on his way to his dramatic rescue, we see he kind of has an upgrade because he takes off his hand and he adds this big boy gun,
Yeah, I was
like
wondering
this
about that.
semi-automatic to it. So I knew he was getting some upgrades in this movie, but I kind of forgot that was one of them.
Yeah, they did that for toys, man. That they had to have done that for toys.
Yeah, because at the end he had a lot of fun upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so of course this was funny to me because this was so dramatic. So he ends up going up to a parking garage and he flies off the parking garage onto the scene. Which, by the way, that car
Hmm.
should have been demolished. That car should
Yep.
have blew up on impact. But instead, the car just bounces once, and then like the tires should have been destroyed. And then he pops out and just starts blowing everyone away with this big ass gun. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, before he got there, the guy with the sports car was killed by this. I don't know if this gang was like the Mohawk gang or something like that. I guess I don't know,
They had a name. It was something stupid too. It was a stupid name that they had.
but they all had Mohawks and they had weird weapons with like
Hmm.
blow darts and stuff. So,
Yeah.
and of
It's-
course, RoboCop tried to do his best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression with his one-liners. Did you call for backup?
yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, they light RoboCop on fire, but it doesn't really help their situation. And they drive away, and he's recording
I can't
the
find it.
little girl. He's recording the little girl. He's recording the people she's with and the church.
Now, yes, when him and Lewis are driving by this church, they're not driving in slow motion, but the camera is going in slow motion. And I was like, why are they doing this like this? Like he should have been like, just drove right by it. And he would not have been looking at it like that.
Yeah, I know. So we get to the big let's see, I'm gonna mess it up again. What is it?
OCP?
OCP. OCP building, and like I said, the CEO fires the guy who messed everything up, and then he's getting reamed out by his boss in Japan or China or wherever they are, and he's getting cussed out, and they say they're going to send help, and as we kind of already knew because I read the description, and because my brother basically confirmed it for me after listening to our last show,
Hmm.
this is a robot ninja.
Yeah, I assumed that. I thought that was the dumbest thing I ever seen though when I saw that. And my thing was why this is what they've been trying to work on and make since the first movie.
Yes,
So now you did it. So why aren't all the cops like this or all the OCP, officers like
I
this?
said the same thing because this robot was what RoboCop should be.
Right.
He was
Exactly.
agile. He looked human. He didn't
Right.
move like a robot. The only time you knew he was a robot is like when he gets hit with a big pole and it
Hmm.
smashes his face. This thing was a
Hmm.
Terminator.
Yeah.
And it made no sense to me because I was thinking the same thing. That's what they've been trying to do.
Yeah.
But
So
instead
now
they got this caveman in RoboCop.
or those stupid tank like robots.
Oh, I
Like
know, right?
all of that should have been gone once you figured out how to make this android. Like everything else, like RoboCop, they should have just. I don't know. I don't see the purpose why they would have kept him online and working.
So this is when we meet Dr. Maria Lazarus, and her boss basically and her get into an argument because he's saying that Murphy slash RoboCop shouldn't be able to disobey a direct order from his chief, and she's saying, well, he has the ability to do that. You guys wanted a human-like component, but also a robot. She's like, this is what it. So he basically says we can do this to block it and basically wipe his whole memory. So he only follows orders. And he was going to put it in, but she says she'll do it. And you could kind of tell, like,
Hmm.
before that she was wrestling with the idea the whole time. And then there is a point where she decides not to put the chip in and she actually destroys the chip.
Is this the same actress from the first two movies?
I don't think she was in either of them.
Okay, because in the first two movies there were scientists. There was a woman scientist that was taking care of RoboCop,
Yeah.
and
But I don't think that was her.
okay, all right, I was wondering that. Okay.
Yeah. So RoboCop's going back to the footage of that little girl, and then he's watching something on the TV of them stealing, ripping children away from their families, and it starts bringing back memories of his family.
Once again, we never even got any type of clarification about his family.
None.
His wife ran away. I thought they were gonna come back to that. Because he was mean to his wife the last time he saw her. and I thought they were gonna clean that up and fix that. They did not in the second movie. I thought it was gonna happen in this movie, and it did not happen in this movie.
Yeah, not one bit. So they Robocop and Ann decide they're going to go to the back to the church to see about the little girl and the rebels. I mean, they're still trying to do their job, but at this point, I think Murphy has another plan. I think he wants to know more about what's going on and try to help more than like arrest anybody or anything. Now, the crazy thing is, this was dumb to me because this only foreshadowed to me what was about to happen. One of the police officers asks Anne if she wants her Kevlar,
Hmm.
and she says no, I'm off duty. Okay, you're off duty, but you're still going to investigate a situation. Why wouldn't you just wear it? Like
I
you're
have
basically
nothing to say.
just because you say you're off duty, you're still going into a dangerous situation.
Hmm.
So all that told me, and then that's what happens. She's gonna die. One
Yeah,
way, she's gonna die. I literally said that out loud. I go, okay, she's about to die, and I don't even remember it because I've only seen this movie one other time. And she would have been fine if she just would have worn a damn club bar.
yeah. You know, this type of character is normally throughout. They normally don't die in movies like this.
It
But
made no sense to me.
yeah, but this character, she had so little of a background. I really didn't
Uh,
care that they killed her off.
True. Well, and I
She
know,
never does anything except for looks. She's just looking
yeah,
and with a confused look on her face also.
and they killed her in this purposely to help RoboCop uh, to motivate him
Yeah.
more because the people that killed him were the rehabilitation people. They show up, they are following RoboCop because
Hmm.
they own him. They're a part of OCP. So they show up, and when RoboCop basically tells them, kick rocks, and Ann backs him up, which Ann should have been behind his ass.
Hmm.
Ann backs him up, and the guy, she says basically, if you want to get to them, you're going to have to go through us. And RoboCop started it because he shot warning shots at their feet. And
Hmm.
so the main guy, like I said, the main guy, he gets up and says, "That's no problem," and just blasts Ann away.
Right.
And I was like,
They have some gruesome deaths in this series. The
"Yeah,
way
I mean,
people
what
die.
this dude had a semi-automatic, and she took like 6 to the chest. And like I
Yeah.
said, all to the chest. This guy didn't even bust her in the face. The Kevlar would have helped with that. It
Yeah.
would have hurt like hell, but you wouldn't have died.
I don't even know why she was still alive when RoboCop picked her up and took her into church. How she was still
Just
alive.
to be
She should have been dead
dramatic.
on the steps.
Just to be dramatic. So then RoboCop blows up like a van, and then now he's a part of the rebellion. He didn't really plan it that way, but I mean, he fought for the rebellion.
But
Now
he gets
Anne tells him to get them to promise to avenge her, and now he's a part of the rebellion. But now he's also messed up because he took a missile to the face, and he can't target. His targeting system won't work on OCP employees.
he got shot in the chest also.
Yeah,
And I was thinking like RoboCop has gotten messed up in every single movie. Every single movie. They like he is not I don't know, man. Like I've never seen like they don't do that with Batman or Iron Man. Like Iron Man's suits aren't messed up every single movie that they have.
they couldn't keep up with messing up Iron Man suits anyway because the dude has 100 of them.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I
I
mean, he
don't
has
know.
enough suits to supply the army if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Um, so they have a secret escape underneath the church and a base under there. The problem is, and RoboCop does point it out eventually that he has a tracking device on him. So they have to take the tracking device off and throw it, and they throw it over to where the manhole is booby trapped, and so it buys them some time. But now RoboCop's messed up; they need to fix him up, and he tells them to find Marie Lazarus. That's the only one who can really fix him up. I thought the little girl was going to do it, but they don't have the
I thought so
they don't
too.
have the equipment. They don't have the equipment to do it. So they uh Bertha, which was the last time you heard that name?
It's been a minute. Ain't nobody being born in 2025 should be named Bertha.
No. Um Bertha calls in on a headset to a base. So she's basically they got a home base and says, prepare for our arrival. And what you say, make an extra plate or something like that. Like make an extra plate for RoboCop, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know,
Or
man.
putting
I wasn't paying attention. I missed that.
something silly like that. So they end up
Something must
going
have
to
happened to
like
maybe roll my eyes or something, man.
yeah. So they end up going there and they have Marie Lazarus meet them there, and she must have showed up with all her stuff, I guess, because she was able to fix them up. But
Yeah.
they put Anne's death on RoboCop.
hmm Which is dumb because I'm like, okay, RoboCop records everything, so all he's gonna do is just play it back what happened.
Well, even the police chief was like, "No, he wouldn't do that."
Yeah.
So they were blaming her, the Lazarus, and basically saying she's fired because she didn't put the chip in him.
Yeah.
But even she knew that he wouldn't do that.
hmm
And then this is the part where you said like the CEOs are jumping out the window, and the one guy blows his head off, and
Yeah.
then this is when the reinforcements from China show up. And I feel like I've seen this guy in other things, but I couldn't think of who he
Which
was.
guy? The guy that was supposed to be playing the android?
Yeah,
Mm. I'm not sure.
Katsumitsu or whatever. Um, so like I said, when they first show him, he's like meditating with a sword, and like I said, he's basically a Terminator because he
hmm
looks like human, and for the most part, he acts human, but he we find out eventually he's a ninja robot, whatever.
And
Actually,
what
I
is
think
this
he's more of a
sword made out of?
I don't even know, man.
It got to be something.
Yeah, because he's cutting metals and all kinds
Yeah.
of other stuff. So we see this base of operations for the rebellion, and it's pretty impressive. It's just like some rundown warehouse um, in the middle of nowhere, and um, we see them fixing up RoboCop, and there's a lot of kids in this. So like I said, they're trying to save as many people and start this rebellion, but that's a lot of kids to
hmm
watch over when you're, in a dangerous situation. It's not going to be good.
hmm So these people are like living under in the sewer. And it made me wonder, man, because I see this in the Turtles movies. I mean, I just always assume the sewers are the sewers.
Yeah,
But this has like rooms and doors and stuff like that. I've never seen a sewer in real life under. Is that what goes on underground? Like, do they have that? Like, are they rooms or
I don't think
places or
so.
yeah?
Maybe like a corridor or something, but nothing you can really live in comfortably.
Because this looks like you could live there comfortably. Where they having their base looks like the base that the turtles had in the second movie when they
Yes.
found the train station. That's what this looks like underground.
So we see this android for the first time, and he takes out some rebels pretty easily. And this is where you know he's an android because, like I said, he gets hit with a big lead pipe in the face, and it just jacks up his face, and then he puts it back together, and he takes a clear like thing with a road map on it,
hmm
and so it looks like basically how to get to the rebels, but
Yeah.
he needs a map to use it
hmm
because it's literally like a clear sheet, and it has red marker, and
Mm-hmm.
then later he goes and gets a map, puts it on there, and figures out where the base is.
Who wrote that? I
Which,
mean, who made that? And why would they? Why would you?
well,
Why would you?
it
Why
was
would you?
supposed to be a secret, and if you, it was only supposed to be for the rebels. But
Yeah, but see, that's the same thing. Like in the Star Wars sequel movies. Remember Luke in the first one? He wasn't in Rise of Skywalker. He was missing, right?
yeah,
So I was wondering, he did not want to be found. Who made
nope.
a map to like Luke would have said, "Hey, I'm going away. I don't want nobody to find me, but just in case, here's a map of where I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna break it.
I
I'm gonna
agree.
break the map in two.
I
You
agree.
get pieces,
Right?
and this other person has a piece, and then
But
eventually, there's hopefully you're smart enough to figure out put this thing together to find me. That's stupid.
Star Wars is they always love doing that stuff.
Yeah, go ahead,
Oh, you
man.
know what?
Hmm.
I'm at this part where they're showing him finding her parents, and he has them as deceased,
Ah, okay. I missed.
killed.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, killed during the escape.
All right,
So
they did. I guess they just didn't show that to us. Okay.
it was really brief. They showed the two parents, and I paused it to read it.
Ah,
And
okay.
the little girl after that is like warming up to RoboCop, and then we see Dr. Lazarus, and she's fixing him up, and then someone asks about this thing over in the corner, and she says it's a jetpack and a backup power source. So if he's low on power, he can instantly recharge and with this jetpack. But
I never thought about RoboCop needing to recharge. Yeah, okay, that makes
yeah,
sense.
but he's going in his mind. He's playing Anne, telling him to get some
Avenge.
revenge.
Yeah.
So before she can install the jetpack, he gets up and leaves to go take care of business, is what he says. So he walks into the police precinct, and he says, "Where's the rehabilitation center?" And
That was
uh,
pretty funny.
you know,
This is pretty
it
funny.
was because he said that, but the chief looked at him and goes, there's a warrant out for your arrest." He
Yes.
goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay." He just shakes his head, and then he goes, "You might want to call the fire department."
Right.
Now, this the first time we put this gun on, I'm like, it just looked like a semi-automatic. But then this time, this gun has multiple purposes because
Hmm.
he walks in, he's shooting fire.
Hmm.
At one point, he shoots some kind of missile.
Yeah. So he is
It has a
literally. It's in the police headquarters, and he's
yeah,
literally going to burn down the police headquarters.
well, just the section he doesn't like.
Well, I mean, you can, like the fire is going to stop, and
I know, I
say,
know.
I'm not going to go to the rest of the building.
It's so funny to me because then it's like they show his point of view, and he's like, interrogation mode. Where's McTaggart?
Yeah.
Interrogation mode, dude. You just basically killed everybody.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much.
So McTaggart kind of knows that RoboCop's on his tail, and then we see Kuntz. Kuntz,
Hmm.
who is already having problems within the rebellion, getting worried, being a bit of a coward. He shows up and tells McTaggart where everybody is. Now the crazy thing is the android already figured it out. So now we got the rehabilitation people and the android headed that way.
Hmm. Now, up to this point, you don't even know who the android is, right? We
Nope.
don't know who he's with or anything. He's just walking around. There's no explanation up to this point, like what this guy is doing.
Well, I mean, he's OCP. He's there to take out
No, but
to
do we
help.
know that? Do we know that? Did they explain that up to this point?
During the CEO meeting, the guy, the CEO in
Mm-hmm.
China or Japan, wherever they are,
Mm-hmm.
he said, "I'm sending you help." That was the help
Yeah. See, I mean, I really I heard it, but did not put two and two together because it just kind of
because
happened randomly.
the rebels, and in their mind, the rebels were winning.
Mm-hmm.
They had they only had 2 days to finish this project, or the rebels won. Is the way it was being explained. I don't know how
Right.
that works. I don't know what the 2 days were for, but they said that's all they just kept saying. In 2 days, we'll have won basically.
Right.
So I guess they got to figure this out. Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. So of course they show up, and they show up to take out the rebels, and Marie Lazarus, she sends a little girl away so she doesn't get wrapped up in this, because like they're either killing you or they're taking you prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's really no alternative. And if I if I remember correctly, they basically get everybody. Either they kill them. They even killed the guy who told them where they were.
Yeah, they killed Bertha and no, what's
Kuntz.
her name? What's her name was Nokio, no Nokio, some whatever that little girl name was. She saw
Yeah,
Bertha
Nokio.
die. Nokio, yeah,
Yeah.
she saw Bertha die.
And then they took the doctor and held her hostage.
Hmm. Yeah, and the doctor, now she stuffed the little girl in the I don't want to say the walls, but pretty much
Like an air
like
duct,
yeah. So she's
like a
crawling around this
heating or
thing,
cooling duct.
yeah, while everybody is getting arrested, pretty much.
So McTaggart goes into the police office. He's gonna hire the police to do their job because they lost a bunch of people to evict people. And the police chief tells them basically stick it up his ass and quits. And then everybody kind of follows suit. Now it's
Hmm.
funny to me because when you quit your job, I like that was cool, but how do you keep your company car? Because
You steal it. That's how you
that's
steal
what I'm saying.
it.
Because all they turned in was their when you
Their
quit as a
badges.
cop, you're supposed to turn in your badge and gun. They didn't turn in their guns.
No.
They just all dropped it. And by the way, those badges, okay, a real police badge does not sound like aluminum. The sounding people messed up on that. I don't care what you say. That sounded like party store badges. All of them. Every time they
Yeah,
dropped a badge, I'm like, all you heard was tink, tink, tink. Have you seen a police badge?
I've seen it. I've never heard one hit the ground, so I have no idea what
Well,
they
they don't sound like tink, tink, tink. They sound like punk.
do.
That cracked me up. I'm like, come on, the sound people, they should have done better than that. But that's just me being nitpicky. Um, so yeah, they go and they join the rebels. So again, what's McTaggart's idea? Hire the gangs.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
because
I mean, not a bad idea, but crazy.
why would you do that though? Because you don't have enough officers against these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now this part, we finally see Robo Ninja versus RoboCop, and the way this uh android moves, he should have destroyed RoboCop no problem.
Yeah, and it didn't even seem like RoboCop even saw him coming when he would attack. I thought he was looking at him, but then he said
Because
something to the fact like, where are you? What are you doing? Or something like that.
it was just like I said, RoboCop shouldn't have had a chance against this dude. This guy can
No.
move faster.
Yeah,
He can
RoboCop
move
is
in different
stiff.
ways. That's what I'm saying. He's it shouldn't have worked.
No.
But for whatever reason, he got a clear shot and blast the guy's head off.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sitting there going, well, that was anticlimactic.
Yep. I did too.
Like this should have been a better fight.
Yeah. But I mean, there's only so much you can do with RoboCop. The way he based upon how he moves. I'm
No,
real
true.
interested. I'm real interested to see how when we watch the next RoboCop movie, the last one, the newer one, how they improved him because he looks slicker than this thing, the
I'm gonna tell
original
you,
one.
my brother said that movie wasn't much better than the rest of the.
Oh my God, are you serious? Are you
I
serious?
think he saw it. I think he saw it in the theaters too. So I'm hoping he's wrong, but
I'm
he
assuming
said
that this is going to be a reboot
he
and
said it
not
was
a continue.
better. He said
Okay.
it was better, but don't get too excited.
Wow. Okay.
So we see a showdown with the police and the gangs and the what are they called? The rehabilitators. And then we see RoboCop. We see him just go to find something. And what did he find? Oh yeah, he found the jetpack.
Yeah. And this had me cracking up because everybody
I,
is clapping and cheering that RoboCop can now fly.
which,
I'm
by the
like,
way, have you ever seen a jetpack? He cannot fly like that. He came in like Superman.
yeah, he did.
Jetpacks go up and down. They don't go vertical.
Yeah. Well,
Like they hover. The way
RoboCop
he
made it
came
work
in,
for
like
him.
he came in like Superman.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, he's still the same guy. Like they
Yeah, but
nothing that we've seen in this make in either movie, any of these movies, made RoboCop seem like he's super strong or anything. I wouldn't have been scared of RoboCop. He's
this
not
this is this is the second time I watched this today. And the way he comes in, like damn Superman, like a
yeah.
jet.
Yeah, yeah. It's ridiculous. It's definitely ridiculous. And like he's doing everything he normally would do, but he's flying doing like he's just shooting people. That's
Yeah,
it.
but he had two guns on the arms, no hands, two big guns.
And
He
a
took
missile.
a missile launcher and took out the tank, and then he came back, took out everyone else, and that was the end. That was the end of the bad guys, pretty much. But
Hmm.
then, of course, we got to have one last dramatic scene. Um, Nico saves Maria or Marie, and then McTaggart basically calls RoboCop to him because he knows as long as he doesn't attack RoboCop, RoboCop can't do nothing to him
Hmm.
because he's still OCP. So when he shows up to take out McTaggart, like he tells him, he's like, "I wish you would shoot me so I can take you out." And he goes, "That's not going to happen." And then two more of those ninja androids show up.
Yes. Yes. Which they
So
never
at this
alluded
point,
to before.
no, never. And one of them's messed up in the face, and the other one's fine. So
Well, the
this
one got
part,
messed up in the face because of RoboCop. RoboCop was shooting him, and he
yeah, I
shot
know.
him in his head. And so they just did that just so we can distinguish between those two.
So
I would have
then,
laughed. I would have laughed if the headless one walked in also and was helping
right,
them out.
right. So Marie and Nico come in with with Nico's computer. Now, how did they connect to the frequency of this android? It made no sense to me. But basically, she got them to attack each other,
Yes, yes, and
and then
he was asking. They didn't explain it, but you knew what she was doing, and
yeah,
McTaggart's just like, "What are you doing? Stop! Stop! Just run over there and step on the damn computer."
right.
That's the end of that.
He had plenty of time, or
Yeah,
shoot it. Could have just shot the
yeah,
computer.
yeah,
But he got mad because he said, "Well, you just triggered. They explode when you kill them." Now they didn't show us that when RoboCop killed the other one,
nope.
so I don't know. But so he got his jetpack back on, grabbed the girls, took off, and the whole building explodes with McTaggart in it. RoboCop goes down.
They
The
didn't even get.
CEO comes
They
out.
didn't. They didn't even get any kickback from the explosion or nothing. He was able just to fly fine with both of them under his arm.
The crazy thing is, the the CEO and the dude from the other company, he comes out and he bows to RoboCop like, oh yeah, I guess we're buddies now.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you don't. I guess I don't want this neighborhood anymore. I guess these people can live for. Everybody that's associated with OCP should have been arrested. Like that
Yeah,
would have been a huge investigation. I mean, that would have been a federal thing right there. After
should have been.
everything that those people have been doing these last couple of movies, and this when they're arresting people, and I guess obviously killing people that they were arresting, trying to move them out up out of their neighborhoods. I don't know.
Yeah, crazy. These three movies, interesting, different than I remember.
Yeah. I think as a kid you might have just been excited just to see RoboCop, just to see the character on screen and didn't care about anything else. But I'm giving this movie a D. I'm giving it a D. And I think I gave
Yeah,
the other two movies a D also, I think.
I can go C minus. One,
Yeah, I didn't enjoy any of these movies, but um it made me realize like this is why I've never seen RoboCop on television. I've never seen it on USA playing. I've never seen it on TBS, or I've never seen it on TNT. I've never seen them doing a replay of any RoboCop movie ever.
no, they usually run on like HBO or Stars.
I haven't seen it on that. I've not seen anybody watching RoboCop. Maybe the newer one, maybe, but I've never seen anybody watching any of these older ones. Because you'll see the Batman movies come on, you'll see the Superman
Yep,
movie or Star Wars is always on, but
yep.
I've never seen RoboCop at all, and I don't know, man. I think they know that these movies aren't that great.
They could do a good one now. Be a
Well, we'll
lot better
see.
than this crap.
Well, like I said, the next movie we're watching is the newer RoboCop, the one that came in was it 2014.
Yep.
I didn't, it seemed like that movie just came out that long ago, but 2014 is 11 years ago. It seemed like it came out a lot sooner than that.
I remember when it came out. I just never watched it.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else, Joe?
Oh man, interested to see what we come up with after this, because there's a lot
I
of choices.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm gonna let you pick. I'm gonna let you think about it now where we go next. But I am very interested to see. I have a feeling that the next RoboCop is going to be better than these first three. It has
I
to be.
think so. Yeah,
It,
it
it
has to
has
be.
to be. It can't be any worse than this. So,
No, for sure.
all right, then we'll wrap it up for this week for Super Flix. Everyone, stay safe, stay strong, stay super. We'll holler at you next week, and I will play our music.